So in log, if you have log base of something and it's a multiplication of log, how would you expand it? Addition. If you have log that are dividing, how do you expand it? Subtraction. If you have log that has a power, how do you expand that? It becomes multiplication, a leading coefficient of log. Can you ever distribute log? No. So let's say you're solving and you have x equals to log, and that's it. Is that an answer?
Yeah.
No. Log by itself. It's just a piece of wood. Okay? Log by itself has no meaning whatsoever. If you have log, it needs to be attached to like a value, like 5, okay, 7, 100, or a variable. So don't write log by itself. Victoria.
You don't have to have a base, Victoria.
So I think you're talking about a base, but you can write log, no base, of 5. Okay? So if you don't have a base, you're always going to assume that it's a base 10. It's called a common log. Okay? All right. So last week we compressed all of the logs. You guys remember this? Yeah. So today, guess what we're going to try to do?
The opposite. We are going to expand it. Okay. So can you please, McKenna, help me read the instructions for example 6 to 10. Perfect. Example 6. Log base 5 of 3 times x. What do you think, Carly? How would we start expanding this? Rewrite it. How do we rewrite it? We're expanding, right? What do you mean by expanding? No, we're not solving. We're not evaluating. Brooke? No, we're not evaluating. We're not solving. Expand means what? That's simplifying. Make it what? Bigger. More logs, right? On last week, the instruction says write as a single log, meaning that we're doing what? Condensing. Today, it says expand. So, if I give you this, see this right here today? Can I go backwards and do that? Yeah. That's what we're doing today. We're doing backwards. Okay? So, on example 6, you have log base 5 of 3 times x. In the log property, when you have multiplication of log, how do you expand? Addition. You're right. So we're going to write it. Log, what's your base? 5 of what? Of 3 plus log base 5 of x. That is expanding. Mind you that the log has to line up with the word number 3, and all that's lining up. The only base is a 5. That's a subscript. Okay. All right, you try 7. How do you expand that? Subtraction is right. Write it in, and then turn to your shoulder partner and compare. Okay, so final answer. Please compare now before you're called upon. Roger, final answer, bud?
Log 4, 7 minus
log base?
Yeah, log base 4
of
7 minus log base 4 of 5.
Do you guys agree with Roger? Yeah. Perfect. Okay. 8. How do we expand question 8 or number 8? What do you think?
You put the exponent in front of the log.
Yes, we make it a multiplication question because it has a power right now. So the power is 5. Where do we write that? It's a coefficient in front of log. So it's read 5 times what? Log base 4 over x. That's right. Okay. So this 5 is lining up with the word log and lining up with x. Make sure you check your writing. Guys, if you write it like this, is that right?
No.
No, don't make x a power. X is not a power. It's not belong up there, okay? Oh, 9. Oh, my. What do you do? Same thing. Victoria, how do you start? There's so many ways, and we have to write multiple steps because this is going to be really expanding. Is 2 a power? No, it's not. So we can't move it as a coefficient, y'all. What do you see in there right now? What one operation do you see? Division, right? If you see division, what do you do first? Right. So take one step at a time. So log base 5 of what? 2 times square root of x minus what? Log base 5 over y to the power of 3. We have to expand a couple more times. What do we do now? Put the exponents as a multiplication, so it becomes, and not just the right side, so it's minus, tell me what to write, 3 times log base 5 over y. But what do you do with the left side?
Add 2 rad x.
Yeah, isn't that 2 times rad x? Yeah. So if you multiply it in log, it becomes what? What does it become? An what? Another log, and we add those two, right? An addition of log, okay? And we're not done. Someone tell me why we're not done. What do you see in there? Okay, so currently we have log base 5 of 2 plus log base 5 of square root of x minus 3 times log base 5 of y. What do you see in there that I can also expand? Rad x. Y'all, rad x is the same as what exponent? Not 2, not 1, but 1/2. Okay, so currently we have this. This is really technically x to the power of a half. So would you agree, because it's a power of a half, I can bring that in the front. So log base 5 of 2 plus 1/2 times log base 5 of x, and then minus 3 times log base 5 of y. And that is as far as we can go with our expansion. Okay, you try 10, and then we'll come back together. We'll put a minute on the clock. I need my timer. Once you're done, or if you're stuck, I want you to turn to your shoulder partner and talk about it. So question 10 says log base 8 of x to the 3rd times y. All right, check out your notes, huh? And follow. All right, Ainsley, what is your final answer?
3 log base 8 x plus log base 1 base 8 1.
Log base 8. Why like that? Can you check what I'm writing?
Yeah.
Oh, you said 3 in the front?
Yeah.
Is Ainsley correct? Yes, perfect. Anybody need to see this done? Girls? Let's move on. Ready? Examples 11 to 13. Can you help me read the instruction, please, James? Perfect. So, guys, the word evaluate means what? Solve. Fine, give me the answer. So, log base 6 of 12 plus log base 6 of 3. What's the fine answer? Okay. You guys hear what she did? It's an addition of log, so how do we compress it, condense it? What do? Multiply. So it's 12 times 3, and then that, Brooke said, okay, that's really log base 6 of 36. How do you go from there to give me the answer? Final answer. Now what? Exponential form. We're going to say, okay, let's give it just some unknown variable. And then, what do you write? 6 to the power of x equals. Many of you can see what the answer is right away. What's the answer? 2. Now, if you don't, what's the next step? Yeah, base. Make a common what? Base. This is 6 to the x. Over here, 36 is 6 to the what power? 2, right? So therefore, x must be 2. Okay, 12. Why don't you try that? And I'll call you in 2 minutes this time. Yeah, have a calculator out. Good idea. If you don't have one, can you go and grab one from my desk up here? All you need is a basic calculator.
So I got 2 equals 2x equals 32.
Yeah.
And then I have,
I think it's 5.
is it 2 times 5? Is it 3 2 to the 5th?
2 to the 5th, yeah. Once you have an answer, or if you are stuck, turn to your favorite shorter partner. Yeah. And talk to your partner, please. Like, hey, I got this stuck. I'm stuck. I'm here. Where do you go next? Two, 4, 6, 8. Who do you appreciate? Everyone's like, what? That's a softball cheer, isn't it?
I meant to the power, not right.
Did you talk to your partner? Even if you can't go all the way home, ask the first step. Okay? Hey, what's your first step? Then at least it allows you to start the question. Okay? Lots of you are getting the right method. Question number 1. Is the answer very small or very big? Okay, how about this? Over 10 or under 10? Under 10? Okay, let's see. What did you end up getting? Maddie R, what did you get?
X equals 5.
Okay, x equals 5. We'll go backward to see if you're right. Okay, ready? Step number 1. What did you do on step number 1, Chance?
You have to rewrite it.
Tell me what you did.
So you do like log 2
Base 2 of,
and then 96 times 2, which equals,
Is it times 3, y'all?
or no, divide,
Divide by 3? Okay. Which is what, Chance?
is 32.
Log base 2 of 32. Is Chance right? What do you do next, Chance?
And then you have to, it's basically like, I don't know how to explain it, it's 2 to the power of 5.
Right, but how do you use power of 5 right away? What do you do? Rewrite it. Make it equal to what? X, okay. And then what do you do after that? How? 2 to the power of x equals 32. Bases are not the same. So 2 to the x equals 32 is what base to what power? 2 to the 5th, right? That's why we know x equals to 5. Ready? 13. 1/2 times log base 5 of 15 minus log base 5 of square root of 75. This is a toughie. Are you ready?
No.
What do you do first? Rewrite what? The power, yeah. Right? Right now, can you see that there's a leading coefficient of half? What does that become?
Rad 15.
Ah, okay. I'm going to write step by step. Some of you can get there very quickly, which is awesome. But I'm going to insert this step in there. Okay, then I'm going to write rad 15 right now. Would you agree that power half is the same thing as rad 15 as most kids just said? Okay. Minus, and again, I'm writing all the step out. Now you have a subtraction of log. What do? Divide, you're right. So this is log base 5, big quantity here. Rad 15 divided by rad what?
75.
Okay. Currently, you are in 2 different rads. Can I put it under one big radical? Yeah. So 15, oops, 15, why am I saying 17? 15 divided by 75. Can I simplify that, by the way? Yeah? So rad 1/5. Okay. Evaluate means you have to give me one final answer. What do we do with that? Set it equal to x, perfect. Okay. Then let's write it in exponential form. What do we do? 5 to the power of x equals square root of 1/5. Now it's really algebra. You got the log stuff done. How do I know what x is? Common base is right. First, how would you rewrite 1/5 under the radical? Even before I get there. I need to get rid of the radical. How do you get rid of the radical? By squaring both sides?
Yes.
Okay. I'm going to go and do this and square both sides. Thank you so much. Okay. Would you agree that's okay? Yes, no, maybe? Then power to the power on this side, y'all, what do you do?
2x.
Okay, so 5 to the 2x equal now just 1/5. Right? Now what?
-1.
Ah, 1/5 is the same thing as 5 to the what? Yes. Okay. 5 to the power of 2x equals 5 to the -1. Now, check out the bases. Are they the same? Yes, I mean, you drop the bases and you solve for x. So x comes out to be a negative what? 1/2. Okay. I'll let you guys finish copying before I move up. We just have 2 more sets of examples. Ready? Okay, example 14 to 15. Can you, Brendan N., read me the instructions?
Log base of a x equals 5 and log base of a y equals 2. Use the properties of logarithms to find the following.
Perfect. So here we go. Log base a of x to the 3rd times y to the 5th. Give me the final answer. What is it? What are the only 2 things they gave you? Anytime you have log base a of x, I can substitute it with what? 5, right? Log base a of x is 5. So if I see that, I can substitute with 5. And if I see a log base a of y, I can substitute with what? 2. But your question 14 has log base a of x to the 3rd times y to the 5th. What do you do now? I have to expand that. How would you expand that? Right, log base a over No, can't do 5. Remember, I can only write 5. It's you see log base a of x by itself. Of x to the what? Third. What's next? Plus log base a of y to the fifth. Can I go further with my expansion? What do you do next? Right, it's now 3 times log base a of what? X plus 5 times log base a of what? Okay. Can I substitute now? Do you see log base a of x? Do you see log base a of y? Yes, Brooke.
Wouldn't the 3, 5 be like part of the log?
It's 3 times.
Oh.
Remember, it's a leading coefficient, right, guys? But that's also what operation? What operation is that? Addition is this, add it to that, or is 3 subtracting that, or is 3 multiplying that? It's multiplying, right? So what can I do with this? Equal it to 5, because they gave that to you. In this question, log base a of x is always 5 only, though, in this question. Plus 5 times what? 2, because in this question only, log base a of y is 2. So find answer. 25, okay? So that's how we use the properties to solve. Hold on tight so you can analyze it. Why don't you try 15 for me? I'll put 2 minutes. Yes, Brendan. 2 minutes. Go ahead, analyze that for me. 15. Take the hall pass, Brendan. If you have an answer, can you turn to somebody and compare? If you're stuck, also talk to somebody.
I have an answer, but like I know how to do it.
You know how to do it.
I think so. You just subtract.
It's simple.
Yes.
I was out yesterday.
Sure, I'll send it out. We only have one more set of examples. Daniel, what's your final answer? Okay, Daniel says 4. Let's go backwards, okay? What's your very first step, Hunter?
I put 2 log base of a, or
I'm going to write step by step, okay? So log base a of x squared. Is that what you did?
no, I skipped the whole x squared.
Okay, you're going to go like this?
Yeah.
Okay, that's okay too?
Minus 3 log base a of y.
Okay. Do you guys see what Hunter did? Is that okay to go straight?
Yes.
Yeah, totally fine. Okay, now can you substitute that and that?
Yeah.
Perfect. So that became 2 times what, Hunter?
5.
5. And then minus 3 times what?
2.
2. So final answer is 4. Agree? Disagree? Perfect. Okay. Last set of examples. Here we go. This one, it says change of base formula. Example 16 all the way to 18. Brendan C., can you help me with instructions?
Yeah. Well, I was at them. Okay. Use the change of base formula and calculate it to find approximate value of each block.
Perfect. Okay. So to find the value, that means evaluating. Up until now, would you agree that you are able to evaluate without a calculator? Right? Change it to common base, drop the base, solve. Okay, I'm going to try that right now. Don't copy this down, just pay attention. Currently, I need to evaluate this. So I'm going to set it equal to something. Let's call it an empty box. Is that okay, by the way, to set an empty box? Oh, okay. Brandon said, I don't like that. Just give me an X. Sounds good. All right. How do you evaluate in the next step? 4 to the power of x equals 22. 4 is 2 square. Would you guys agree? So remember, I'm trying to get to a common base. So 2 square equals 2 squared to the power of x equals 22. Is it possible to get a base of 2 from 22? Because 22 is really 2 times what? 11. It's not the same as 2 to the power of 11. So currently, can I solve this without a calculator? No. Okay. So that's where the change of formula comes in. If I give you log base anything, let's call it base x, over y, okay? So base can be 4, 5, 6, 99, and y can be anything again. And I cannot evaluate without using a calculator. Then I can use my calculator and punch this in. I can punch in log of y divided by log of x. Can you see on the right side of the fraction what the fraction is? I don't have a base at all. What base is it? Not 1. We've been talking about if you don't see a base, it's always what base? 10. It's a common base, which is what most calculator is programmed to do. So now, go ahead and use a calculator for me. We all have one, right? Yes, Brandon? Because I can't evaluate that. Because it's not possible for me to find a common base. Nope. 22 is 2 times 11. I cannot have a base of 2 to some power.
Oh, wait, so you have to like find the power of 22?
Right. Find the power of 2. But 22 is impossible to have any power. So 2 to the 1 is 2, right? Yeah. 2 squared is 4. 2 to the third is 8. 2 to the fourth is 16. 2 to the fifth is 32. There's no possible way for me to get to 22 using base 2. So that's why we have to learn a second way, which is using a calculator. Go grab one. It's going to have to be a decimal, okay? So go grab one, guys. Can you guys find me the button that says what? Log. Okay? Log base 4 of 22. I'm going to punch in log. What? 22 divided by log of 4. Round to 2 decimal places for me. And this one goes to Hannah, whenever you're ready. Go get one. Guys, go grab a calculator if you don't have one, because you will be called upon. I'm just going to fine you. Kennedy, can you hit the keyboard for me? James, do you have a calculator? Go get one. Brandon, do you have one? You boys are wasting a lot of your friends' time.
That's 2.2.
Can you round to 2 decimal places? So 3 point what? 2 point. You said 2.23? Someone confirm that for me? Perfect. Okay. All right, you guys are on your own for 17, 18. I'll give you guys 2 minutes, 1 for each, and then I will find you guys, shuffle your deck of cards, and call on us. Correct? Yeah, no, that's why we couldn't use that's why we could not do this by hand. So that's why the calculator has to be used.
when you are done with the last two questions of today's notes, okay, find a buddy, compare your answers. Yes.
So you're telling me 2.23 times 2.23 equals 27?
2.23 times, why am I timing 2.23?
You said you have to find the square root.
No, I did not say that. I said evaluating log base 4 of 22 is impossible to do by hand. So that's what we have to use a calculator. Okay. A lot of questions you can do by hand. If you can convert it to its common base and just drop the bases. But these three questions were written so that way it's not possible to do by hand. So that's why the change of base formula is needed. Once you guys are done, just turn to your partner, compare your answers. And here we go. And I'm shuffling. And who did you borrow the calculator from? Oh, yeah. Give it to him.
Okay, here we go. Number 17, final answer goes to Kai.
X equals 3.12.
3.12, confirm?
Yes.
Perfect. Last one goes to Dylan H. Okay. 0.46, confirm, deny?
Yes.
Beautiful. That's an egg roll, y'all.